Everything is exhausting. That's the energy I'm bringing at the gate. You can't stop me. Fucking... Listen, all I'm gonna say is that everyone should already be making way more money, but especially if you have to go out in actual 10-degree weather consistently over the course of several days of the week. They need to up the incentive there because right now I'm fighting for, why is it called a restroom? I'm fighting for my fucking life. But anyway, hello Sabs, hello Pig. Sabs would like a Barrett. Barrett, he's up there. You flutter on down here. There we go. Right there. Perfect. How about we start some more? I don't want junk happening to stop me from making the comic. I like making the comic. You can't stop me from making the comic, no matter what you do. I mean, you could probably do some fucked up things, but that'd be messed up. So let me see something here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alrighty. Just think about the layout of this. Should it be 4? No, I think we'll be okay with I was thinking of with 3. It's hard to keep things straight when you're working in a wholly, like, fictional black and white void. It be a heart. I love drawing. I love fucking Majin Buu MC Hammer Pants. One of the reasons I gave Wukong some of those pants in my design for him. Honestly, last comic actually got some likes. Which, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of used to no one caring. At least in a form that I can see. I know I say that, and like people in the community are like, I like it. And I'm like, I appreciate that. But I'm going off the vibes of when I put it out online. You see. But yeah. I'm just kind of surprised, because I'm kind of wishy-washy on how the art turned out on that one. All the little bits and pieces here and there I think are pretty good. I like how I drew Willie in a lot of ways, but in terms of like whole overall comic, I wouldn't say it's the best I got to offer thus far from this series. So, alright. Draw Wukong here. Okay, this is pretty good. He is a lanky ass man. I made this character. I mean, you know, monkey. So he's very long. But I feel like, yeah. Long arm. Speaking of long arm, the long arm of the law. Hey, have I been remembering? Okay, yeah. I've been drawing his belt. That's it. There's like one comic I didn't have him in his belt. Yeah, this one. I'm okay thinking that he just took it off for a minute while he did an action. That is completely plausible. But so I was like, I can't make a habit of that. Just because that kind of works in this one scenario doesn't mean I can keep doing it. I love forgetting how to draw my own characters, you know. That's the best part about doing art. Making up your own little dudes you really like, and then not knowing how anything how to do that ever again. Yeah, I hope everyone else is doing good. I hope people are staying warm out there. I know it's like, I want to say it's like I was gonna be like, I know it's a specific section of America getting blasted by the cold right now. It's like half of North America currently getting absolutely bodied by the Arctic blasts. So, not super narrowing it down, but still, it's still like, you know, unless you're in like Australia or something, it's still winter, still chilly out. I'd hope everyone's staying warm. Eyebrow. The people's eyebrow. I don't actually need to sketch that out. I was thinking about the face he's gonna be making. And I guess I got excited. I said, teehee, funny face. Several funny faces in this comic. But yeah, I'm just gonna be lounging back this weekend. I can tell you all that. I know I say that a lot. But I mean, I'm the type of guy who's always running on empty, if I'm being so real. and extreme weather does not exactly give me energy, so give me your energy. Stop dropping my light. I will fully admit to staying up maybe a little later than I should have last night playing Blueprints after stream. Conversely, though, I would argue there's plenty of external, like a little less, a little fewer Z's. I don't think is wholly to blame for me being like exhausted. I don't know. Normally I'm pretty good about making sure I get a decent amount of sleep. Sometimes that means I'm late to stuff because I'm sleeping in, but listen, sleep is important. I'm always stressing that. So. Alright. This one should be good. Here we got a new panel now. Yeah, this should be about that size. The train is now leaving for the Mystic Ruins. Honestly, that's the wholly, like, I wouldn't say I was defending Sonic Adventure before, because I recognize it's not aged amazing in terms of a platforming game. But I was giving it some slack, and it is a vibe. And I feel like that is undeniable. I think a lot of people, in retrospect, look back at like Dreamcast stuff specifically, and it's like, oh, that was a vibe, and we were too young to appreciate it. We'll make his hair stand up. This is gonna be Wukong doing a wild take. So we love stretchy eyeballs. You know, it'd be interesting to go back in time and kind of learn about like what cartoonists were thinking when they made certain well-known tropes, like anvils. They're like, I did not know what an anvil actually was for the longest time, outside of being something you saw in cartoons. And I think I'm not wholly alone in that. So. Alright. Here's the thing, right? I can kind of, like, this first panel is somewhat decently sketched out. The second one, I kind of okay with just, like, spacing it, just so that way we because I feel like I'll be okay doing it in the ink mostly, without too much planning. This one I probably have to stretch out more, plan out more, I meant to say. Lord, I was thinking about taking a trip this year. I'm probably not going to, because I don't really think I necessarily have the means. That being said, I'm almost certainly still going to take some time off. And also, I'd love a vacation that was like just purely sleeping. Does anyone? I talked about this before. There's so many, like when your family was like, we're going to Disney World, that's not necessarily like a vacation, you know? Like, I don't think most people are coming back from like their family trip from Disney World and being like, oh yeah, I'm like rested. You know? They're not just like, oh yeah, dude, I am all good. Could work for like 2 days straight right now. I'm feeling best I ever have, right? I think most people go on those kinds of trips and are just like, I am more tired because we were doing activities at all points of the day. And that's fine, because obviously getting out, seeing the world, doing plans, that's great. It's kind of what life's about to some degree, you know? But with that being said, can we like find a way to make more vacations that specifically center around sleeping? Like, not just like R&R, like, no. It's like, what's our biggest attraction here? Well, it's sleeping in a bed. A nice, comfortable bed. You know, hotels, like, upcharge a lot for that kind of stuff. Or, like, we got fancy sheets and what, you know, etc., etc. Are you describing hotels? Well, no, because Sabs, what I'm talking about is the whole trip, right? Because I was about to say that. Is that hotels will like will like charge you an arm and a leg for stuff like that. But like that's not what you're doing. You know? Like you don't, if I'm going to like France or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna get a super fancy hotel. Do you know what I'm not going? You know what I'm probably not doing a lot of while I'm in France for like a few days? I'm probably not staying in the hotel a lot. And I would argue that's what I'm saying, right? Is like if I'm doing a trip to do a thing, great, that's amazing. Uh, but fucking I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm like rested. I've just I've expended more energy doing the entire thing than, you know. No, because that's a staycation, Sabs, and those exist. What I'm saying is we start making types of vacations where people go to a resort, right? And at this resort, it's like kind of like a spa to some degree, but really its whole purpose is facilitating the best sleep you have ever had in your entire life. That is the purpose of these new vacations I'm envisioning. Is like massive resorts in places that you wouldn't normally go take a vacation to because there's nothing there. But we're going to use that to our advantage in this one. Because now that there's nothing there, you don't want to leave the hotel. You don't want to leave this resort. You want to fucking stay in this bed that has been purpose built to just knock you out and have you feeling more well rested. What I'm saying is I want to start designing trips for people, and when they're done the trips, when they've gotten back to like their home, made the trip back to their home, they are able to actually stay up for days on end because they've gotten so much sleep and rest that they have enough energy to just non-stop whatever they feel like. What I'm describing is a sort of healthy version of cocaine. A healthy, drawn-out version of cocaine. Instead of doing a line at some, you know, and getting a bit of energy to keep you going, you'll spend a week at our hotel, and it won't absolutely fuck you up. I'm trying to figure out how to pose these guys. Let me do something real quick. I'm just saying that traveling is tiring. And people kind of frame vacations like you should be rested afterwards. But sometimes that's not how it works. Because you decided to, you know, you've gone somewhere. You've planned out an itinerary in an exotic location for such a time as that you did a lot of stuff. I'm just describing vacations. But that's what makes it hard, right? Because Stabs was like, you mean hotels? You mean like staycations? And I'm like, no. I'm talking... What I'm talking about is a new thing, where you feel better afterwards. But I was listening to my brother and me. Like, I've heard about sleep studies before, right? Fucking... Apparently Travis had a sleep study done. And, he was describing it. And... I like, instantly was like, that's like a hospital bed. I'm around those all the time. That is a hospital bed. They had you sleeping in a hospital bed. Which is insane. They even point out, and I agree with this, like, maybe less so for, like, actual hospitals, right? Where the functionality is more to keep you healthy than keep you well rested, you know? But for a sleep study, fucking... The idea that they wouldn't actually have a comfortable bed, they wouldn't make the bed as comfy as could be, and would instead just have like a medical bed with like plastic sheets and stuff. That's fucking... Seems like you didn't sleep well during this. Yeah! Your equipment is shitty. I wasn't sleeping well to begin with. That's what brought me in. And then you had me lie down on a bed I don't know, which is already off to a rough start. But then it was a bad bed. I don't know. So, I like how before I was kind of drawing Willie when he was muscular, like fucking like a Johnny Bravo type. This is just full JoJo at this point. I was just thinking today about how I need to start bringing a sketch pad to lunches. Because, like, I want to read, but sometimes I'm too tired after. I literally took a nap during my break today. So, thinking about it is, like, if I might be too tired to read at certain points, but fucking... I could at the very least jot down some sketches and everything, so that way I'm still drawing. Because the other thing that had occurred to me was like, I'm drawing the comic a lot, and I like my comic, but also, like, it is intentionally a very stylized, cartoony piece of media. And that's not exactly letting me flex my art muscles a lot. I want to draw Slifer, the Sky Dragon. Some slightly more complex designs. Because I think part of the point of the comic is it's something I do regularly, has a certain style. And, what was I thinking of? And is kind of on a time limit. So like those in mind, I don't necessarily go all out in terms of making it look as realistic. I was gonna say artistically impressive, but that's kind of subjective to certain degrees. I'd still say that's an accurate way to describe, you know, the comic at certain points, but regardless. That bicep is too big. Muscles are hard to draw, to get, to kiss. I'm sorry. What if I had Willie striking like one of these poses now? A kind of Atlas pose. I almost feel like I need to not have his feet down. I love how I'm talking about, like, I don't put any work into the comic. Like, you're literally having me here just being like, I need these muscles to look so good. Like, they still have, like, basically orbular heads while they are jacked to hell. At this point, Walton Willie could definitely beat Yujiro Hum. You know, I don't like to say that kind of stuff too much, because obviously getting into power scaling is, to some degree, narrative poison, on top of just trying not to upset entire fan bases. But listen, when I'm drawing this fucking 11 and 12-year-old so massive, I can't help but think of of Baki in the series and be like, they're power scaling above that at this point. I mean, everyone knows that Toon Force is like, that's kind of end all be all in power scaling, because it is almost anti-power scaling. It literally says it does not matter what force calculations you have. If it's not funny, it's not happening. I like cartoons. Big cartoon guy. I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh before. I'm going to talk about more Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm so sorry. Because, like, I'm into older Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You with me? And I like cartoons. So, to some degree, it's like, I wouldn't mind building a toon deck, even though, notably, the toons aren't very good in the actual card game. They don't really function like in the anime, which is the case with a lot of overpowered anime cards IRL. But the problem comes in this little thing, this little tidbit I heard, which is that there's a Red Eyes support card. I forget if it's Red Eyes Chick or another one. It might be like Red Stone or something. But regardless, it's a card made to help out Red Eyes Black Dragon, you know? Another classic card. But the wording on the text is that you are allowed to bring out any Red Eyes card, not just specifically Red Eyes Black Dragon. So where that comes into play with, you know, toon cards is that they did make a Red Eyes Toon Dragon, much like Red Eye Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. And Red Eyes Toon Dragon lets you bring out any toon monster in your hand for free, which is obviously very good. It's just, you know, normally it's harder to summon, but with like this little combo I'm talking about, it's pretty easy to get out there just from your deck alone. But that card just came out so much later than any of the formats I like, or any of the cards I collect, so it doesn't really fit. Which is a shame, but you know. Maybe I can make like a halfway decent, you know, old school toon deck. Probably like not that decent, or else it would have been bigger in tournaments and stuff, but you know. It is kind of... What was the thing, you know? It is kind of fun to think about Pegasus having basically like a fun deck and a competitive deck. Because he has the tunes, which he just loves. The IRL isn't very practical. Then he has like the relinquished format, which I've heard was banned for a while, just entirely. And I mean, like, that is a good way to I feel like that's kind of a fun way to portray the creator of a game. Having one version just for fun, and then another for when you want to get serious. This is 58, right? No, this is 56. Renaming layers. Like my favorite character. He's good. And again, it helps because like if I feel like there's like I was telling I was talking to Stealth, so like let me start here because this was a fix I thought for a while ago. Because the Egyptian god cards are notably not, or at least they weren't, they kind of are now, I think, but you know, games got power creep, so whatever. But the Egyptian god cards were notably not as strong as they were in the anime IRL, which is in part because they were like actually magic in the anime. So that can't really translate to a mass-produced card game. But anyway, I was saying, since part of the whole gimmick with the Egyptian god cards is that they aren't affected by anything, the way to fix that beforehand was that they are their type is Divine Beast, so you just kind of write in the rules that Divine Beast doesn't count as a monster card. It is its own separate card. And thus any previously printed spells, traps, or effects now no longer affects them. And to be clear, would that make them absurdly overpowered? Yes. But that's the point. But back to tunes. I feel like a much more down-to-earth and, what was I thinking of? And balanced way to make tunes more competitive, which they didn't do this for some reason, is that like you need Toon World to get Toon monsters on the field, but that's it, because part of the biggest problem with Toon monsters as it stands is that I need to go looking for some reference. I apologize. Anyway, but part of the problem with Toon monsters as it stands is the fact that like if Toon World leaves the field, they get destroyed, and getting rid of spell cards is like that's just a thing that happens a lot. A wildly common occurrence in any one round of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is a big problem for tunes. I probably already have this reference now to think about it. Oh well. Thing going on. I mean, I just... Honestly, even if I was like a more social dude all around, I feel like I'd still be more into just collecting the Yu-Gi-Oh cards than playing them. Because I'm not sure all Blueprint's screenshots. I'm sure someone out there was like, oh, his tax information. I'm broke. Do not steal my shit. You will be disappointed. What else was I thinking of? But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! For, like, anime shit. So, those specific cards not being amazing IRL Not my problem. Also, like, it's Konami does Yu-Gi-Oh! I really don't need to be doing anything for Konami. I forget. I think I watched the video about the Silent Hill 2 movie before stream yesterday. I definitely talked about it on stream yesterday. It's not good, I hear. Shocking, I know. It sounds like they missed with this one. Oh my lord. Okay, this is a new thing. Apparently they're making a new Saw. I think it's a new Saw. Do you want to know why I can't definitively tell you if it's a new Saw? It's because it was like, it had Saw as like the title on the poster. And then above that, it was like the final chapter. I've watched like 2 Saw movies. It's like 3. I think this is 3. Yeah. So I've heard the first time they tried it was okay. Second one, no. This one, Sabs, I assure you, I've heard like little things about the original Silent Hill movies. This one makes those look like fucking Parasite. Famed Korean film. Anyway, what was I thinking of? Oh yeah, Saw. So like, I've seen like 2 Saw movies. I already know there's been like 5 different ones with like the gimmick of this is it. This it all ends here. So that's why one reason I can't tell if this is actually a new one or if someone's posting an old poster. But fucking, it was a poster with like Saw, that subtitle, and then it had like a statue, like a giant Statue of Liberty-esque statue of a white guy. And from context and from what I know about Saw, I know it was supposed to be like the guy who did like the original traps and shit, right? But I don't even remember his fucking name. I guarantee you a lot of people who aren't into Saw don't know anything about him. So it just looks like a giant, weirdly realistic and like statue of a real dude being built for a promotion for a franchise that is supposed to be about death traps and not weird dystopias. And like, I sent that to Deja, and I talked to people when they posted it. Fucking, I know Saw lost the plot a while ago. It's one could argue if they ever even had it, but holy shit! I can't, like, it's so weird. Because I can't be like, oh, they lost the plot. Oh, they jumped the shark. They already did that. But they're reaching new levels. Movie equivalent of... Yeah, that would be a good way to put it. So this would be like the last Call of Duty. I think wasn't the last Call of Duty like Modern Warfare 6? Or was it Modern Warfare 3 again? It was something like that. But people saw the trailer. I remember so clearly this happening, and it was kind of funny to watch. The trailer for that Call of Duty came out, and everyone was just like, this looks awful. This isn't what we ever played these games for. We're not buying this. And I don't know how Saw fans feel, but I do get the same vibes from that poster I was talking about. So... I guess you could say the Saw franchise is in good hands. You know, I'm not trying to, like, espouse opinions on things I know nothing about. But I know, like, you know, I hear stuff about Silent Hill. I haven't played any of the games, just because I've never really come across them normally. But I do believe Mr. Eyepatchwolf when he said this version of Silent Hill that they made as a movie took decently sensitive topics and shat on them because they just don't care about the games, which is always the problem with game movies. If nothing else, it's another case of, like, why was this specifically, like, this brand? You know? This could have been anything. Why did you have to make it this game series that I like and would have preferred a respectful adaptation of? Ugh. People be crazy, I tell you. There is another piece of, like, movie news, which I will not get into, because in case it is that bad. But fucking, like, when it got posted, people were talking about it, and I was like, they're just fucking, the people who make these things don't care. They're just kind of under the impression that it's like whatever. Like they don't know what people want. I know everyone knows that. You know that. I know that. But I just need to reiterate. Okay. Again, I won't get into specifics, but part of it was, like, people brought up Jared Leto, right? Because I don't know. I honestly can't tell you if Jared Leto's ever been in a good movie. If I was going with my gut, I'd say no. But, like, people are like, why the fuck is he still making movies? Why are they still letting him do this? It's bad every time, and they lose money. And the answer is because they don't realize and they don't care. In their mind, it's a case of, like, Jared Leto is a big star. He's a recognizable name, and thus, and he has done a movie before, at least. Thus, including him in their idea will elevate it, and that's as far as the thought goes. They aren't looking at the evidence or what people are saying, and they definitely don't care about the kind of person he is. They just like the idea of having his name on a poster. So, I was also saying, I feel like as much that is probably the most interesting thing I have to say about that guy. I've heard he's not very nice to work with. And also, I think he's just kind of boring. I think he really wants to be like a crazy wild rock star type of guy. I don't. Not seeing that. So, I mean, I'm not that, but yeah, there's just, I mean, I guess, and I was literally talking about this in Pig's Discord not too long ago. I guess to some degree, it's probably like connections and stuff, right? Like, these people who aren't necessarily popular in any sense and have not made good movies, because there is a few. It's not just Mr. Leto. Um, like, they just know enough people who are like, yeah, I'll help you. You know, it was a rough break. I'll help you out again. And, like, that's enough. And, like, that you shouldn't. you stop doing that. Have I ever drawn... I'm, like, looking through my comics. Have I ever drawn Wukong facing this direction? I have. This is about how I've drawn it. Actually, part of the problem is that... See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know how to draw my own characters. Okay. I'm, like, going to fully admit... Like, I could look at Goku. Because the way Wukong's hair is styled is a bit of an homage to Goku. I did that when I was designing him. Hi, I'm Goku. Actually, I just realized the fucking thing I was looking at. It's this picture. Whoopsie. I'm tired. I need to, I wish if I had more, I mean, I could playlist blueprints, but I was gonna say, if I had a bit more time where I was like, yeah, I can sit down at the computer and draw a bit without it being the comic specifically, and yada yada. You could probably make some character sheets for some folks and other little tidbits. I think part of my problem is that, like, if I do that, I'd want to put it on Patreon as, like, kind of an exclusive thing for that. But if I have to, like, not do the comic for a week to get that done, then it's not really, I don't know if that's necessarily worth it for anyone on the Patreon, so... I appreciate anyone who's on the Patreon. I thank you. I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. At least having somewhat of a place to go see the comics easy and have little tidbits for them. I appreciate your literal patronage. Your literal and branded patronage. Headband. Yeah, when I was designing Wukong, I was just thinking, because I forget if he has fancy boots in the in Journey to the West. But part of Wukong from the legend talks about him like raiding a Dragon King's armory to get a bunch of shit for himself. And I mean, mostly the big things he takes is armor, because his staff he rips out from the bottom of the ocean as like a thing they didn't even care about really. But they talk about the armor he picks out, and I think I've talked about before, he has like a phoenix feather cap, which is why I give him like a big headband with 2 feathers in it. And he has like a golden cuirass, but obviously being a pirate, I wasn't about to put him in big old plate armor, so I just gave him a big old belt and what have you. Like I said, I forget if he has fancy boots or not. So, depending on that, his shoes are either also a Dragon Ball reference or separately part of that. Okay, you know what? Let's look it up. Sun Wukong's outfit. Outfit? No. From Lego Monkey Kid. He doesn't have an outfit in Lego Monkey Kid. He's Lego. Golden chainmail armor, a cape, and cloud walking boots. I thought he had fancy boots. There you go. Because I kind of remember that as like thinking of it like a fucking Minecraft armor layout. Just thinking about like the helmet, breastplate, and shoes. He didn't bother. I mean, he is literally a monkey from the wild thornberries. So he does not feel. I mean, I think he is wearing pants, but he didn't get any fancy. He didn't bother shopping for new ones. No shoes, no shirt, no mortality, no service. And then Sun Wukong is kicked out of the restaurant. I'm sorry, sir. We only serve people here with a looming fear of death. You will have to leave. Alright. I was thinking about calling off this stream. And I was like talking about this yesterday, right? Because I feel like part of my problem is, and I don't really know if it's a problem in the sense of like, I don't know. But, you know, I work, I stream, I sleep, repeat a lot of the time. I was like, do I just want to kind of chill out and not stream today? But one, I've been doing too many like short weeks for stream. Two, I do like keeping up with it. And three, it's like, I don't necessarily want, you know, a bunch of junk in my head to make it that I'm like lacking on things I do want to do. So I was like, okay, wake up a bit. Like I said, I'm just eepy. I talked about this before. I'm not necessarily sure how much hope I have for next week. Specifically because they're like, more snow. And I'm like, it's pure fuck it. I fell today. I fell. I had a fall. And I didn't have my life alert on me. But fucking... Because I was out doing stuff. And, you know, a whole bunch... I had to get on top of the snow. Because it's... Even if I was okay walking through it, it's solid. It's absolutely solid. So I had to walk on top of it. So I started doing that, and I fell. Because it looks like snow, but it is ice. So... that wasn't fun. I was okay, but still. If anything, I feel like I was more upset because, you know, it's cold. I was like, I didn't need to be colder. I didn't need to be cooler. Ah, my brother! That's not how Frieza sounds. I see my illustrious reputation. No. That's a hard voice to do. I feel like DBZA is definitely easier. I am Lord Frieza, yes. Honestly, he's kind of like a little gray man and a little British. Like, very typical alien voice. And also throw in a bit of aristocracy. Into the exact same place. Listen. It's... Sabs, I can't stress this enough. I don't know about where you are. It's literally freezing outside. And I'm upset about it. So yeah, I'm thinking of the Dragon Ball. I'm drawing a character I put like 3 different Dragon Ball references into. I will be thinking about, you know. I do be thinking about Dragon Ball. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. You know, there's so often times I talk about, like, people, like, online, right? Like, I was gonna follow up that thought. I know for a fact the answer to the question I was about to ask, right? Because I was going to talk about how, like, you know, I talk about, like, people I find online and liking them, and I'm like, oh, I hope they don't turn out to be, like, you know, a dickhead or whatever later on, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, Toriyama's gone, but, like, is there a specific thing that was, like, particularly nasty about him? I don't know if this was a reflection of his character, but there was some. If there was one most problematic thing Akira Toriyama ever did, we all know what it. We all know who it is. If you have seen Dragon Ball, look to your left, look to your right. We all know what I'm talking about. Dragon Ball Z Abridged knew what I was talking about. They made a whole bit out of it. So that is asked and answered. Oh my gosh, are you loud? That was from one of their little shorts they did after they stopped doing the full series. You know, I was thinking, I need to stop just saying that part. Anyway, I've come to the conclusion that the only Dragon Ball stuff I actually consider canon is, like, manga original anime stuff, you know. OG Dragon Ball and Boo. That. Anything else is like, obviously you can like it if you like it, but if I'm talking about good Dragon Ball stuff, that's it. Like, I'm not thinking about it beyond Goku having SSJ3. That being said, I was thinking last night, as far as, like, new transformations go, Orange Piccolo is actually pretty good. You know? It, like... So, like, in talking about transformation designs, it's like, you have Super Saiyan, right? That's, like, the OG transformation. It's hard to argue that anyone's ever done it better in anything ever. And then I feel like you should also bring Gear 5 into the category, into the combo now. Just because it is so much like the opposite of what Super Saiyan went for at the time. You know? So and it's part of such a massive series outside Dragon Ball that I think it earns its place there. So, like, you have that original, and then you have almost the antithesis. And Orange Piccolo definitely leans more towards the original in terms of what it's going for. But I think one, the fact that it's in the series that contains that original uh original base that everyone goes from, it kind of helps it in that regard. And also I think it does like little things different, which is real cool, you know, because a lot of Toriyama's stuff was a less is more kind of approach, where he wasn't over designing a lot of things, you know. Gave lots of characters wild spiky hair, but you know, that was part of the personality. He wasn't doing too much besides that, because at the end of the day, he liked doing cartoons like I do, and you know, I've already been spending too much time on this guy's hair. So he wasn't trying to give everyone a million things. So with that in mind, plenty of transformations like Super Saiyan don't actually change too much. Like, for all intents and purposes, it just turns Goku's hair up, changes the color, and changes the color of his eyes. Right? And similarly, in that same arc, Frieza's final transformation has him much, much smaller and simpler than his design was at any point before that specific beat. So that's clearly where Toriyama's working from. So I what was it? So I think that's one reason why a lot of times like big buff dude designs in Dragon Ball don't work, except for like Broly, basically. Like Broly is the big buff dude in Dragon Ball. But I think that's different in Orange Piccolo, because Orange Piccolo does notably make Piccolo much bigger. But it kind of works in terms of like his personality and character, of him just getting like broader and more intimidating when he buffs up. And also, he does turn a shade of yellow like Super Saiyan turns Goku's hair. But since since Piccolo is working from like a green base, it kind of muddies it up a bit. So rather than going like full pure yellow and gold and shit, he ends up becoming orange. I was just thinking, I was like, it's not a lot, and obviously Dragon Ball, in continuing for like literally 40 years at this point, has really like flooded the market on a lot of this stuff. But I like Piccolo. And as far as like the first real full-on transformation he ever got, I wouldn't say I was upset with that one. Pretty good. Like, you know, Piccolo has long kind of been like a straight man, a very, like, he doesn't necessarily always do too much. He people love to point out how much he aura farms, but he's straight to the point, getting stuff done. He's not goofing around as much as the Saiyans or other characters are, right? So his big transformation, turning him into a brick shit house with like a constant grimace on his face, really good. It also works because like in Superhero, the movie that Form debuted in, they finally Piccolo was like, I forgot I could turn giant and stretch my limbs. So that transformation also bringing back Piccolo actively changing his side makes the fact that it just by default makes him wider. I think pretty cool. Not to say it's like the greatest thing ever, but it has little bits here and there that I think help it stand above like the just kind of eye-rolly transformations, you know, the one where it's just like, this isn't much. I'm not going to say that's what Super Saiyan Blue is, because if I'm being honest, I feel like there are other animes that are way more I'm guilty of that. I just don't watch a lot of them. So. But just via cultural osmosis, I know there's plenty of animes that are just kind of mid. If you'll excuse the terminology, and give their have their characters go through power-ups because, you know, Dragon Ball. We all love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. You love Dragon Ball. He, she, we love Dragon Ball. It's almost like it's a generational story that forever changed the storytelling landscape on at least an immediate level. So, as well as having phenomenal art direction, which probably more uniquely influenced just culture going forward. Because it could be argued that anything Dragon Ball did was done before, right? And it's just that Toriyama brought that kind of like narrative structure for an episodic show back to the forefront. You could make that argument, but it's not like Super Saiyan existed somewhere else before Dragon Ball. Like, the idea of power-ups and transformations, oh yeah. But we're just talking about, like, design and shit, then Super Saiyan's all Toriyama. Damn, I was playing Dragon Quest and I dropped it. I need to get back to it. Here's the thing, I'm still playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I started a new save on there, like, you know, a month or two ago, knowing exactly what I was getting into, and relishing it. It was like, well, I'm just gonna do this for a while. But listen. I like hunting monsters. So, don't judge me. Between Monster Hunter and Bloodborne, I just love the idea of being given a big axe and being told, hey, go fight monsters. Go fight monsters, and if they beat you up, you'll be fine, but there will be consequences. There is a fail state, but just keep at it, champ. I want to be a Super Saiyan. I want to. That's me fighting. That's me wanting to hunt monsters. I want to fight the monsters. I want. Honestly, FromSoft is definitely just kind of... I've spoke to this before. Those kind of games just reinforce my desire to... Well, not desire, but I just love messages of just like, hey, are you determined to do it? Then just keep at it. The only failure is in giving up. And obviously, you know, IRL, there's more permanent consequences if you mess something up. Can't always just do it over and over again, but I like the message of determination, and I like the idea of that. So I'm going to ignore, you know, the ceaseless passage of time in reality for right now. Yeah. I need water. Water, water, water. I remember so clearly. This is such a weird story. Because, like, I was the kind of kid who, like, I was not drinking water. Not in that I wasn't hydrating, but I was just like, give me apple juice. Give me, like, any fruit flavored anything. Give me milk. I don't fucking care. I do not want to drink plain Jane water. Right? But then I remember at one point, I think it was, like, at a school event or what have you. And like they were doing like kind of a water pistol fight, and they had these big trash cans, not used trash cans. This is important because obviously used would be far grosser. They had these big trash cans of like clean water to fill up your water guns with, and just seeing that big thing of just clean ass water shining all the way through, I was like, I want to drink some water. And then from that point on, I was like, I've never been more thirsty for proper hydration in my life. I'm sorry, I'm doing something behind the scenes. This is why I don't have a face cam, and why, even if I wasn't a PNG tuber, probably just do a Game Grumps. I wonder if they've ever considered. I wonder if Aaron's ever been like, you know, I'm the head of this business. It is in my best. It is in all of ours best interest if I think about ways to move the company forward, so that we can all keep our jobs. Should we become VTubers? It's like the Game Gyaru stuff they made, except, you know, VTubers. So it's still them, and they're still guys, but on the screen at least are anime girls. It's porcelain made. I see a lot about porcelain made from different people. I don't know, like, much junk about him or his content. I also don't know if he's, like, supposed to directly be referencing Bloodborne. Back to some Game Grumps stuff real quick. I saw people posting. It was just like, you know, it was in a Discord. And it was like, good morning, good morning, good morning. And then someone posted like a Gundam, you know, thing. For like, it was all sparkly. It's a joke. It's a joke. Sometimes I like dissecting memes in my mind, but that's not a funny thing to do IRL, so I won't do that. Yeah. It was like a very sparkly Gundam meme, and it was Big Zam. The Gundam Big Zam saying good morning. Sparkle on. And of course, the first response was, oh, hey, Big Zam. And it just occurred to me, it's like, Game Grumps has made a lot of jokes over the years, and a lot of them have been decently prolific on the internet, right? I think Big Zam might be the one that really never dies. It's literally like blink and you miss it, and also specific enough. Not to say that Gundam's like, you know, niche or whatever, but just that one specific robot in any context outside of the show. It's like, might as well say, oh hey, Big Zam. It's got a lot of longevity on it. So, I hope, you know, when there's a Gundam reboot in like 50 years, and they get to a bit with Big Zam. People are still going, oh, hey, Big Zam. You know, they're doing the new Gundam anime. It's recycling stuff because, you know, it's new adaptation for, like, our grandchildren. They get to the part with Big Zam, and even the grandkids are like, oh, hey, Big Zam. Because even the people not watching Let's Plays, not, like, Game Grumps isn't on anymore, they are born in the distant future. They still know about, oh, hey, Big Zam. There's something I was gonna say about that. Something about, like, reboots, what have you. I completely forgot. It wasn't more about more Gundam. The universal greeting. Oh, hey, Big Zam. That's exactly... Because, like, you have loss, right? Like, that's the meme where it's like, this is a universal symbol at this point. The joke is that you recognize it. If you know any context about this and you know what these lines mean, then you've already fallen for the joke. It's loss. Big Zam is like that, but on a smaller, more specific scale. The joke is simply that the robot Big Zam from Gundam is here. Also, I remembered what I was going to say. Because, you know, Lord of the Rings, I'm a big nerd. Big shocker. I think it was when I was talking about seeing it in theaters with people. But, like, you know, I was specifically seeing Fellowship, right? And other joke that gets funnier the more you repeat it is the thing in Two Towers, where Aragorn kicks a helmet and screams, and everyone, and you know, someone goes, "Did you know?" Viggo Mortensen broke his toe. And everyone, of course, everyone knows it's the most repeated fact in the entire world. Fucking, I was like, it'd be funny if you just rented out a theater. And we're showing the Two Towers and everyone there. And then it was like, it's quiet for the whole thing. No one's talking. Everyone's enjoying the film. Everyone's a big Lord of the Rings fan. We're all having a great time. We get to that scene, and in unison, everyone goes, "Did you know Viggo Mortensen broke his toe filming this scene?" Oh, yeah. I mean, fucking... From what I understand, Sabs... That's, like, the point of Lord of the Rings. You know, and I'm not talking about, like, how the point of why of them filming the movie, or, like, the point of acting. No, I mean, like, the point of Tolkien writing the Lord of the Rings is that traveling out in the world is really hard. And going on big adventures can kind of suck sometimes. And, like, they were doing a bunch of stuff in, like, remote areas of New Zealand. Fucking around. You know? Doing stunts. Swinging swords. And I think I literally said when I was talking about seeing Fellowship in theaters, one of the things they talked about was... No, I saw that separately in a facts video. It was about the... I'm sorry I forget his name, but the guy who played Sam. He's a hobbit, so he had his tootsies out for the world to see, and he cut it on a piece of glass. And again, remote wilderness, so they had to airlift him to get that stitched. Sean Astin, that's who played him. But yeah. That's just like the minor stuff. Of, I'm out in the woods, oopsie, I've stepped on something very bad and hurt myself. So. Lord, I don't want to make, like, I said this before. I'm not about to force Deja to sit down and watch the other two extended editions of the next two movies. But also, they had some, they told me they liked it, And they had some very good reactions to different parts. Their reaction to Boromir's death was like, I adored that. Because he's a hero. In this house, Boromir's a hero. You know, I saw some things not too long ago talking about, like, you know, obviously Lord of the Rings isn't perfect, nothing is. If there's maybe, like, one criticism you could have about it, it's that, you know, I mean, maybe in the books it's less apparent that Boromir is definitely going to try and take that fucking ring. But, like, everyone else we see around it when Frodo has it for the most part, like, is chill. It is? Oh! Stealth, have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Actually, no.
Oh, would you like to?
Yeah.
Oh, we should watch it sometime. Just like send you like a link to it or something, because for whatever reason, even having a PC means I cannot stream fucking movies. Anyway, I was gonna say, Boromir dies. I'm sorry you have to find out this way, Stealth, but I mean, there's other stuff that happens, so you have more to look forward to. But if there's one problem in how it was written, it's like everyone else we see when Frodo picks up the ring and is like, here's the evil jewelry, everyone is like, he picks it up around special people and they're like, we have to destroy it. Boromir is like the normal thing. Like, most people would like jump Frodo in an alley to get that ring if they had the chance. So I'm gonna be honest, Stealth, like, you would kill Elijah Wood to get that ring. I'm going to be real with you. You're like a
I don't know. I'm not super into jewelry.
I know, but you're a lawyer. Stealth, do you have like a sense of justice you like to purvey, that like you abide by and everything?
Literally, yes.
Yeah, that's like one of the specific thing the rings targets, and it was like, hey, if you put me on, you will get to serve justice however the fuck you feel like it. So.
Well, however the fuck I feel like, it's not justice.
Well, okay. This is why I'm not the ring. I'm not good at tempting people. So, but you get my, if you more ambition and you know, grand ideas you have, the more likely the ring is going to just have you wrapped around its finger, as opposed to the other way around. So, and in the movies, they, you know, they don't really like spell that out, because I don't know, how do you
spelling is hard.
Spelling is hard, and also how do you show mind control on film, you know? So how are you doing, Stealth?
I'm here.
That's good. Stealth, let me tell you about this, because like, this was part of the reason I decided to keep streaming, to stream today, as opposed to canceling it and sleeping and or playing a bit more Blueprints. I don't know if this saved as a day or not. I did exit out of the game without fucking, you know, without like saving or whatever, because I had to run every every room I chose, which was in part to get resources, but also because I thought it would, you know, get me further in the run. Looped back in on itself. What's that?
So we don't talk about resource run themselves.
It's gone. It can't hurt us anymore. So I'm gonna turn you up. I'm not sure if people have been able to hear you super well. But also, so fucking, I was like, I'll pick these rooms because like they have a good amount of exits, and also they're giving me stuff. So like that should be good, right? They all loop back on each other. I had a house with 10 rooms, right? And I was like, well, that fucking sucked. Like this is why I'm just like, am I doing bad? But then like I get that kind of luck when it comes to like the rooms I'm pulling, and I'm like, I can't help that. Like, sure, I guess in hindsight I could choose all completely different rooms, but whatever. So that happened, and then I started a new day, and I'm like, well, it can't get worse than that. The same thing happened again. Another house with 10 rooms, and I was like, I'm clicking, fuck this. it was so bad. I was like, I'm so wildly angry. So that is like
You will not be the first person to rage quit Blueprints.
yeah, like that. If anything, that is maybe some reassurance on you know, on like, no, you're not doing bad. Sometimes you have bad luck, and I mean, Cahill always has bad luck. So, fucking, what are you gonna do? I did reach the 45th room, so you know, almost there. I just kind of fucked myself over besides that. And I got to the end, I just didn't get to the end. Because it's 46, right? That's the room you need to get inside to actually beat the game.
Smile.
You'll see. Yeah, and then one of our friends, because this is one of the reason, I was saying this yesterday, but I'll say it to you, Stealth, today, because it was, like, in part about you. It was like, you know, you literally do what you just did, which is you don't want to give me anything. And to be clear, that's correct. It's a puzzle game where you investigate stuff. And I will admit to you, I've looked up like one thing at one point, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't gonna get that. I don't fucking care. But yeah, I'm trying to figure things out. But also, I want to talk about it and get some feedback. And I was posting stuff about that today. I talked to one of my friends, and I was like, did you ever reset? He's like, no. In fact, I got this. It was Zaid. Because I'm not going to tell you how many days it took him to finish the game the first time. I'm not going to dox him like that. But, and I was like, okay, that makes me feel better. Because I'm not there yet. So, I'm taking my time. Eventually, I'll get the right set of rooms I need to get in that stupid door, but... I was also like, do wills expire? They don't. I thought there was like a due date on no wills. It's like, don't meet the requirements by here. This is null and void. But that's not how wills work, apparently, so... Stealth, have you ever had to go over to a mansion and read out a will for someone who died under mysterious circumstances that the family is still trying to investigate, and like maybe one weird dude who has wandered onto the scene is learning about?
Yeah, but that was the B plot of the episode, so we didn't really follow it that much.
Damn, it's always they always put the interesting stuff on the back burner. Stealth, were you ever on the show Friends?
No.
No.
I wouldn't want to be there, actually.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You know, I've heard a lot of people trash talk Friends, and I'm not necessarily about to defend it. I also just haven't seen a lot that makes me be like, oh, this is bad. There are other shows where I've been like, oh, this is bad. But Friends isn't one of them. So, How I Met Your Mother. I'll say that one for sure.
Oh.
I see scenes from that, and I'm like, wow, I couldn't think of anything less entertaining than what I'm watching right now. So.
Yeah, that's a reasonable take.
Like, wow, I don't enjoy what I'm seeing, and fucking, there's a lot of it apparently. So.
And apparently, like, they completely double back on like certain like character threads at the end, because like the show was meant to end a lot earlier, and like certain characters got more developed than they were supposed to.
I didn't know there was
they make very odd character choices at the end. Apparently,
I didn't know there was convoluted writing. I just didn't think it was particularly funny either. So
I've just heard about it in passing. How the ending was incredibly disappointing to people because of just how inconsistent the characters acted.
Fantastic, amazing. That's how you know you had a good show, when the ending sucks.
Yeah, stranger things have happened.
Ah, Lord. I don't even want to say it's related to that thing, but I will, because the other movie thing that sucks that people were talking about, it's related to Netflix, and someone brought up Stranger Things, and I was like, fucking Stranger Things already should have had you canceling your Netflix subscription. I don't know why you're still on there. Like I said, they're not getting the hint, so just don't give them money. Not even out of like like a boy, not even like as a boycott or like as a moral high ground. They're just not using your money to make anything you like or anything good at all. So just do something else. Fucking, I deleted TikTok recently. Do you know how much? Do you know how much that changes like what I do on my phone? So.
No.
A good amount.
I've never had a TikTok.
That's fair. I started using that to get a lot of news because a lot of people would, not from like, random people. I would find like different sources, but that's how I would learn about things to look up later. Always make sure you're doing your research, folks. So, what are you playing, Stealth?
I'm just leveling Digimon and Cyber Sleuth to try and fill out the field guide.
Do you have Digimon yet?
Digimon?
What's Armadillomon's?
Digimon is actually not in Cyber Sleuth. Armadimon is.
Armadimon is. That's good. He's a cute little guy, and he has a little verbal tick, which is always fun. So.
Dagya.
Was it just thinking of? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know a lot about Digimon, but just given the way it's set up in fiction, in O2, I can see, Armor Evolution being kind of a black sheep, just because it's like, you need a special metal to do it, and then nothing else happens. And it's like, well, this is literally a dead end. So.
Yeah, it actually is a dead end, because, like, you don't evolve further out.
No, I said that meaning that. Yeah, that's a good... So
you just kind of stay as pseudo-champion?
It's got some cool designs and stuff, and I've been enjoying O2 a fair amount, so... I don't know if I like O2 more than Digimon Adventure. They're about this... I mean, they're literally about the same, because they're basically the same series. This one has slightly shifted its focus, but... I'm gonna have a good time with it. I do, as much as I fucking hate Digimon, as much as he's an annoying asshole and Wormmon deserves better, Digimon Kaiser I do feel like is a good villain, because, I mean, evil Digimon are literally just evil Digimon, like that, they can't help it, they were drawn that way, so. I saw a Digimon fan comic not too long, I think it was on TikTok, so we're up to that, but it was about... TikTok. It was about an insert who had a Pico Devimon partner. They're like, hey, listen, now that I've evolved, I want to say sorry for being an asshole. So. That is Pico Devimon. Did he die? I forget. What happened?
He got absorbed. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like what happened with Ogremon and Devimon.
That's what I'm saying, because Ogremon didn't die. I don't necessarily remember that happening to Pico Devimon, but that would probably be why it didn't register as like a death to me, because Ogremon, he came back later and was like a cool guy and everything, so. Ogremon even has that, like, whole cool fight scene in like the OVA style with Agumon in the one episode, so. That's pretty neat. Maybe I'm feeling warm fuzzies from what's it called? From Digimon Adventure 02, just because it gives Code Lyoko vibes and story structure. So.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Have you not thought of that before? Because we've talked about.
No, and I love both of those things that you've just said.
Yeah. Normally,
this is groundbreaking for me.
Normally, I feel like I'm not a big fan of like, oh, we're like, because the thing of like, oh, we're school kids, but we have a secret thing we go to and do as like part of the show premise, right? Because that's used a lot. And like, granted, when it's done well, that's Code Lyoko, and we all love it. But I think part of the difference with O2 is the fact that they're like, I think the Digimon world is a little different just overall, but then also you have like the original Chosen Children being like, yo, we were doing this for a while already. We were like, we got stuck in there, so we can help you out. And I think that's a cool element to add to it. And they've been doing that. I was so nervous at first because they were like, there's new Chosen Children. And I was like, fucking don't do that. But literally in the last episode we watched, they're like, no, the idea of Chosen Children goes beyond what we've been showing you. With fucking, was it Michael? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Blonde, literally blonde, blue
the American
eyes.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool. He had a Seadramon. I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Seadramon's a great design. Yeah. So. And that being said, what's his? I keep forgetting his name, but I don't know where he went. He's in hiding because he knows I'm gonna ask for fucking alimony with the way he needs to explain shit to these kids. So. Koshiro's teacher, old guy, new Digimon.
Oh, can I?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck he's. I know what the fuck he's doing. It's nothing. I just don't know where he is. So. Can I get in here? Fucking every time with you.
Well,
Oh, is there spoilers?
Okay, so it's a thing that we're gonna discuss, but later after certain plot threads come out.
Gotcha. Well, that's kind of what I figured. So he did have a whole thing in the first one where he's like, "Well, I'm not like necessarily a human or a Digimon, so maybe there's some thing with that." So I don't think he just died of old age, unless he did, in which case, oops. Stealth, would you tell me if an anime character died of old age?
I mean, in this case, I'm willing to say we will see him in this series, but also
that does reassure me. He's, they were just like, yeah, he's just gone. I don't fucking know what happened to him. So.
Perfect revival.
Perfect Cell from Dragon Ball Z. Have you ever watched all of Dragon Ball Z, Stealth?
No.
Gotcha.
It did not really hold my interest.
I feel like if we need a series to watch for football at one point, we should put that on like a maybe list. Just because it would be Kai. Like, we'd be watching the edited version, not like, bunch of filler version, but it's right. It's fuck ever. Oda wouldn't have made One Piece if Dragon Ball wasn't around. So it's your Dragon Ball, so Dragon Ball, yeah.
I mean, I recognize it's like sort of like a fundamental work of fiction, but. The one, like I said, it just didn't hold my interest.
No, you're fair.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah, they're valid.
But
now, did you start? Let me ask you this much. Again, I'm not. This is not some. Much like Deja and kind of you with Lord of the Rings, I'm not about to make you watch anything because that's not a way to get people to like.
I would be much more interested in watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I mean, we'll do that first before, because like one Lord of the Ring is like one football night for sure, so we can just do that at some point. But like, did you start watching from like Z? Like, were you just starting there, or were you starting at like OG Dragon Ball, and it didn't?
Z is the one that starts with Raditz, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's where yeah.
Gotcha. One of the reasons I like Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on Dragon Ball is he partly looks at it through like a like very nostalgia lens, as opposed to try and be like quote unquote unbiased with it, you know, which obviously like no one's unbiased, especially if you grew up watching
kind of hard to be objective with a series that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think there's a lot of value out of being it nostalgic, because like that's what Dragon Ball was to a lot of people when like they saw it for the first time. It's like you were watching SpongeBob, and then out of nowhere you see an episode of a series in the middle of a story you know nothing about, where people are beating the shit out of each other, killing each other, and then like they're like, and then on the next episode, and like, and immediately you're just like, I'm in my seat and I'm going to watch more of this right now. But especially because this is before like, you know, Crunchyroll, that's dead now, but still, like any like way to watch it online. So you're just like, I gotta see the next episode on this, like, you know, on this channel, so I might as well binge it right now. Like that's what I did. Like, and I would argue I was past the age where a lot of people were discovering Dragon Ball in like late 90s kind of stuff. Like I was a little over that, but they were still showing it on TV, so I was watching it. And like on top of the stuff that does legitimately make it a good work of fiction, that element is such a massive one, is like what it did for just like the shonen genre, and then also breaking through to American audiences and being like, hey, look at this shit. So I was talking with you and stuff about like, you know, Digimon, what's it called, Digimon Tamers and Matrix Evolutions, having me realize like, oh, anime is a thing. But you know, again, hard to beat Dragon Ball when it comes to what anime is. So, but it's kind of weird because I was talking not too long ago about like, I don't really like animes with like a very cookie cutter style. There's a very like, this is an anime style, usually for like slice of life stuff and shit. And as much as Dragon Ball is kind of the quintessential one, I would not say it has a very like generic style. It has a very unique style, if anything. So that's art for you. I was thinking about art style, and then I immediately, in like early anime, I was like, Angel Woman Mon. I was like, have we seen her in O2 yet? We have. She was in one of the last.
Yeah, literally last time.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Angel Woman.
Angel Woman. Get fucked. I do love Tail. Angel Woman. Angel Woman design is fine. I like Tailmon. I like Small Cat.
That's fair.
I love when fucking Tailmon's just like fucking standing there. And like, it's like, hi. Especially considering she was introduced so menacingly. It's like little cat who fucks up Greymon and shit.
Nickel Punchy.
Nickel Punchy. Hey Tailmon, I saw a thing about that ring on your tail. Is that like any? Do you lose power if you lose that? Where the fuck did you hear that? No, that's like an accessory I wear. What kind of information are you hearing?
Meow.
This is a conversation with a different Tailmon, not related to the anime, where losing her ring meant she lost like half her power. I got this from Claire's. I got my Digimon pierced at Claire's. Yeah, well, I keep meaning to put this in the one archive channel you have stuff, but I keep laughing about the fact about you laughing over Vanessa die. It's so dumb.
The stupidest shit makes me laugh the hardest.
It's very good. Well, you do like you like telling cheesy puns, and I do get enjoyment out of them. But you know, it tracks. There's like there's like puns which are like, you know, they're just wordplay. So like, you know, they're somewhat they're like a little tricky, but you know, they're not. There's not like a million layers to them. And then there's just like the straight up dumb stuff where it's just like, that was nothing. That was nothing. Why are you laughing at that? So, and sometimes that's what makes it funny. So. Lord,
and you wouldn't stop me from laughing at this?
No, no. It's funny. Lord, I was literally just thinking about playing Blueprints, but it's like, one, I cannot keep staying up late and doing that, and then two, I have to remember the rage I felt after my last 2 runs, so...
Okay, but this run could be different.
That does... This is unironically, this is why I'm not... I haven't and I won't buy Hades 2. Because I was like that with Hades 1, and like, the Hades games are just like, they're roguelikes, which I already just like fucking throw myself into and just do run after run after run, just trying to make the same shit work over and over again. But Hades is a massive fucking game with a million things to do, and I will just keep, like, even more so than a Monster Hunter, which I will already pour hundreds of hours into. Hades is a game where I'd be like, I will not stop, never. I will only be playing Hades right now, so... I cannot buy it. It will be the end of me. It's got hot ladies. And I don't know, I can't do that. Lord, there's another Discord I'm in of people who I'm not necessarily direct friends with, Stealth, and they are also onto the thing of like, hey, we think you're trans, and I'm like, I know you do. Everyone does. Fucking, this isn't news. I feel like I somewhat brought it to their attention, but also it was because they were already having the conversation was already happening. Of like, yeah, it'd be cool to be a girl. It's like, fucking, we've been here. We've been new. I think I've said before, if I'm trans, I'm not coming out. Not even because of fear of people's reactions. More so, like the opposite way. Of like, no, I don't like how much you already knew before me. So.
Oh, so you would stay in the closet out of spite?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, you don't get the satisfaction. Who fuck you? Also, I feel like the fact I'm willing to be like that is like, that's part of like, yeah, I'm not. So, because I don't think trans people are like, yeah, I'll just keep not liking the body I'm in because out of a grudge. So that doesn't sound right. Stealth, you got any big plans for this weekend?
No.
Understand. Well, you have been sick, so I don't blame you for not making a bunch of big plans. Have you seen any snow where you are, or no?
Not this year.
Okay, that's good. You live the fucking shithead McGee leaving your state was just a sign for everyone else, not you this time, which is good. So, because Texas is like the anti-snow state. One drop and you're all gone. So I'd prefer that not to happen. I prefer you not to lose, like, you know, Wi-Fi and water and shit over that. So. I don't know where in infrastructure you make your shit so unsnow-proof that any snow dooms everyone, but they gotta stop. I don't care if you live in the Sahara, you gotta stop doing that, so. Honestly, I've always been of the mindset of like, I want to build shit that'll last in space. Is that impractical and expensive? Yes. But I still like that idea, so. Cahill has constructed a Wawa that could serve as a space shuttle for several people.
Why has he done this? We are not sure.
We're not completely.
We will not ask though.
I get on the mic anyway. I see the end times coming. I want Wawa to endure beyond everyone else. So. Honestly, intergalactic Wawa would be maybe one of the few good things humanity could do. Lord, I don't think about the Avatar series a lot for many reasons, right? Fucking crew cut ROTC Navi from the latest one is so bad. I don't. Why does he exist? Do you know what I'm talking about, Stealth, or no?
No.
Okay. So I have to put a portrait of him in chat. There he is. Lord, this fucking picture. Alright. Here you go, Stealth. It's awful. I realized the last thing I said you were with the thumbs from Spy Kids, so that's not good. But
oh,
no, he's not good. He's like always wearing camo and shit. Here's the thing, it doesn't come across like he is military personnel in an alien body. It comes across like he's one of those fucking people who's way too into military stuff cosplaying. Like, he doesn't... It's very bad. I would say I have several questions to James Cameron about Avatar, but I don't. Because I don't watch the I don't watch the films. I do have a bit of chip on my shoulder because they put him in fucking Disney World, and I'm like, why is this here? This is not good. Especially of all things, the Animal Kingdom. Like, yeah,
yeah,
fucking okay. If I got on a rant about all the stupid stuff they're doing in Disney World right now, I would, first off, I'd be put on a watch list, and then second off, we would be here for all night.
We can't afford to put anything else on the watch list. We have too much.
We got too many things. We got too many shows we gotta watch. Next, I want to watch Revolutionary Princess. I forgot her name already, so. But we'll probably not be watching that on football.
No.
I don't think you.
We'll instead be watching Revolutionary Ninja Yuffie.
Oh! I like Yuffie. I want a show, and where it's Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII, and Yuffie and Luffy from One Piece, and they sail together and have adventures. That is all of it, by the way. That's the entire premise.
God forbid one of them falls in the water.
Oh, can you? Yeah. Yuffie can't swim, can't she?
Nah, no.
Okay. Stealth.
How did I get here?
Oh, because we love you. Pig, you may be included in this question. Because I'm very... Okay. So, Pig, what we were talking about is I'd like a series where it's Yuffie from FF7 and Luffy from One Piece sailing together and having adventures, right? And I was about to ask Stealth, you have to choose one character from either of their party, but one. It's not one from each, just one. One character from either of the crews to keep them alive while they have adventures. Which one do you choose?
So to be clear, this is either one of the Final Fantasy VII crew,
yes,
or one of the One Piece crew.
Yeah, one of the Straw Hats.
And my answer is for sure Jinbei.
That's fair. Jinbei's a pretty good answer.
I don't know One Piece that well, but I do know that Tifa is like is a good enough housekeeper that she ran a bar for years.
That is true.
Tifa can probably keep them.
Tifa alive. Does typically have the brain cell.
The only issue is that Tifa would hate the fact that she is being left out.
That's true.
She wouldn't want to, but she could.
You say that, Pig. I don't think Tifa would be getting left out for two reasons. One is that I think in a lot of ways Yuffie is like Tifa's little sister, and like in canon and just in general. And then two, Luffy fucking loves to punch things, and I think he and Tifa could get a lot of mileage out of that. So
Tifa would definitely keep up in the world of One Piece just because of how generally strong she is, and also the fact that she would definitely be able to master different forms of hockey.
Yeah, so I think they might all relate to each other on separate things, but it would be a triangle dynamic for sure. So, and Jinbei would just be their dad. So that's how that would go. That I didn't say that just because I didn't feel like it needed to be said. Jinbei is dad. So I fucking, like, I feel like the Egghead outfits, I liked a lot of them, but they were, in some ways they were hit and miss. Jinbei just in a Hawaiian shirt is so fucking good. That was a good arc. It warranted the entire arc. So yeah, I love Jinbei, first son of sea.
Well, let's see how my 9th placement match goes.
Good luck. I gotta, at some point, like Friday, well, probably not Friday because football. I mean, like, maybe maybe what happens is y'all go off to play Rivals after a bit of football, and I hang out and call while it downloads, because I had to undownload it, fucking, after I had a great time playing on the computer for the first time. But yeah, I gotta put it back on my computer. So, at least, if not for this weekend, some point this weekend, so that way I can keep playing with y'all. So like I said, I should figure out if I should make a hard decision on whether I like stream PC Rivals, because me going 22-9 as a Magic, like, that is me doing pretty fucking well. So I would like to I want to show, I'm not just bad, I want to show off a little.
That's fine, you should. I like when you play Magic because you're good at it and you enjoy it.
Which
is like the sweet spot.
Listen, I'm not single-handedly dragging 5 people through a $40,000 tournament, but I try, so.
You don't need to be at that level. We're not in a $40,000 tournament.
No, but Stealth owns 2 guns. He gets very upset.
I mean Stealth, who actually like care. I care about teams.
That is true. Stealth does. So I won't. If nothing else, I definitely won't have to drag 5 people, because Stealth cares very much. So.
You and Stealth may be dragging 3 people.
No.
4 people.
And I wouldn't consider you dragging, Pig, because if nothing else, you play healer and you try, so that's enough. That's enough from healer, especially if you're still just pumping up those heal numbers.
And also, I've not once seen you in a dress.
What's that? Oh. Oh, I get it. I get it. There was a conversation I had today about whether or not drag queens count as clowns. Not in a disrespectful way, in a very respectful way.
No, in like a skill way.
In an art form way. And I think, after seeing a good amount of drag queens, I think the answer is, I think some drag queens definitely see themselves as clowns in both sense of that word, and then some don't at all. So, what's up?
It depends.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on how they're approaching doing their drag art. So.
Shit, I'm sorry.
You're good. The coughing cougher live coughing on my stream. The coughing. I fucking love Weezing. I don't know if Weezing... Well, I was gonna say I don't know if Weezing's ever been good and competitive, but fuck, Galarian Weezing legitimately changes the game for some Pokemon, so...
Yeah, but also Galarian Weezing is just the best Pokemon.
I go back and forth on whether I would prefer Kanto Weezing, just with like a classic design and him being two bulbousy boys plugged together, or Galarian Weezing with a giant ass smokestack, because that is good, but it is also, it changes a lot.
Fuck. Rocket was down, so I had no healing.
Like, Pig, you would, like, I'm sure you'd love your cat no matter what, but your cat suddenly having, like, a 4-foot tower permanently on their back changes how you approach that situation, so.
Fuck.
Did James... Oh, you know, let me speak this here, because so rarely I talk positively about Pokemon these days. I'd also been thinking about this. Maybe I'll put this down in writing at one point. I don't know. Fucking... One, it occurs... Is Krogunk ground type? Or is it poison fighting?
Poison fighting.
Okay, because...
Where did the rest of my team go?
Because I feel like to some degree, Brock is, in the anime, ends up being more of like a steel or ground specialist than a rock specialist. But also, I feel like either way, Chansey/Happiny is a very good addition to his team that can work. Because normal is just a very neutral type in general. I think you could add it to any team for the most part, and it would work. But Chansey in specific is a fucking tank and always has been. So, like, not Blissey. Blissey's the evolved form. So, Brock can have a Blissey as a treat. Also, just like Happiny. Happiny.
I don't think ulting the gate there was the best use.
I know.
Done.
Jesus. Okay.
It's a misinput. It was a misinput. You calm down.
It wasn't.
No. I just like that sound.
I love that sound bite.
Yeah.
Oh.
You calm down. You
know.
calm the fuck down.
It's a voice critical.
Yeah. There's a. Let me send you. Have you seen the animation for it, Stealth, or no?
Oh, where it's sonar. Yeah.
No, there was like an older one where it was like specifically, like it was an animation of Charlie. It is so crazy looking. It is 4 years ago. I was gonna watch this right now just to get the sound clip on stream.
What is it? 200k GP. We're talking in GP. I'm on it.
Stop fucking shooting me! What the fuck is wrong with you? Chill!
There was a misinput. Calm down! You calm the fuck down!
You calm the fuck down! Very funny.
Yeah.
Good times. Funny
Charlie.
games. He's a funny guy. You know, sometimes it's fine just to be a chill. Honestly, more people could stand to just generally be a all around
Chill, likable dude.
Yeah, exactly. I already said after watching Lord of the Rings, I was like, if you don't to some degree want to live like a hobbit, I don't trust you. So.
Oh god damn it.
If you're one of those people who would see like a hobbit hole and be like,
a hobbit.
he hates hobbits. But if you're,
I think this is another loss.
Pig just spends like the whole day thinking of the disgusting, dirty hobbitses.
Okay, so you're already a massive god. Yeah, we gotta sit you down and watch these films Stealth, because apparently you're already big fan of Golem. So.
But I am interested.
Yeah. There was thing now. I. Okay. Let me tackle this in order before I wrap.
Cahill, use tackle.
Okay. Ah! Fuck! My head! It hurts! Tackle is
Tackle
supposed
doesn't
to...
have recoil.
I was gonna say that, but it still hurts!
Yeah, you must be doing it wrong.
Probably. Anyway. Yeah, let me talk about this before we wrap up. Because I don't know if this will, you know, this will get stuff more into Lord of the Rings, less into Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings is really cool because Tolkien was writing it at a time when, like, people didn't fucking care about what PTSD was and, like, stuff like that. But he still kind of wrote about it, about, like, guys being vulnerable to each other as they go through this stuff, because he had gone through, like, World War I and shit. And that's really cool. Also, though, when we walked out of the theater after we saw Fellowship with Asia, they were like, that was the gayest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, you're right, but it's deeper than that, so...
And Emma saved your bacon. I'm watching it delayed. I'm watching delayed spectate, but like that. I just saw the ult where the mag almost hit you, but the Emma shield ate some of it.
Oh, I was wondering what saved me.
I'm all for calling Lord of the Rings gay affectionate, but also I feel like kind of the point is that it's not that, but you know, 'tis what 'tis.
Yeah, everything that I've heard about it makes me think that it's, and this is like what excites me about watching is that it's an incredibly genuine work.
Oh yeah, oh,
It is.
Like,
it is maybe the most.
Professor Tolkien might have had the most autism in the world, and he put that in. I don't think he ever stopped writing, because all I ever hear about, like, we have this from letter 342. Like, they have several like, the main things are Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but like they have put together several other books from just random stuff he was writing down at
Professor
all time.
Tolkien, tell us about your new book. Well, you see, I made up this language.
And I wanted to put it in a world, so I started doing that. I'm gonna raid Dearest Gamber, because she is playing Megabonk. And, I mean, Zayd is streaming, but he's streaming Blueprints still, so I'm not trying to get wildly spoiled. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I'm glad my friends stopped by and we talk about stuff. It always makes me always makes a stream worth it. And also, I don't like getting like one panel done a stream, but one, it's a good panel here right now, and two,
I mean, that's also sufficient productivity.
You got the comics. We got the sketches done. The comic started, so at least there's that. But yeah, I'll see everyone next week. We'll probably be doing more like, I mean, we might do Rivals, Minecraft, art. It's like one of those probably.
we could visit the museum
What museum?
and guide.
Oh,
Dr.
they are.
Strange.
Is it the halfway point in the season already, or are they just adding stuff?
Nope.
Okay. Rivals is crazy. This is why I keep playing it. Rivals is legitimately just crazy. Anyway, so maybe we will be doing that. But I'll see y'all then. Bye!